This week's episode of Nub's Collection is dedicated to the previous owner of the game that we're looking at today, Kevin, or Karen. It's kind of hard to tell what the name is since he wrote it while the sticker was on the cart. Kevin challenges you. You got it, bud. Or budette. Karen. Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You are watching Nub's Collection, a YouTube series dedicated to the cataloging and review of every game in my physical media collection. As always, I am your host, Victor Nub, and today we are looking at Tiny Toon Adventures, developed and published by Konami, a rare licensed video game by Konami. Usually they did original properties themselves, and released in the United States in December of 1991. So obviously this is based on the Tiny Toon Adventures TV show that came out in the early 90s. I believe it was from 1990 to 92. And this was one of the three games, the last of the three games that my mother had picked up at a garage sale while I was in college, I believe. And there's an interesting backstory to the purchase of this particular game, or the selection of it from the garage sale. At the time that she had asked me if I wanted to pick up any of the games there, and she mentioned there was one for Tiny Toon Adventures, I went, oh yeah, I remember that game. Go ahead and pick that up. That one was kind of fun. I had been thinking of the Super Nintendo version of Tiny Toon Adventures, which plays completely different from this game. Subsequently, I believe I played this maybe once or twice, realized it was not the same game, and never touched it again. So this is almost going to be like a rental regrets episode, where I'm kind of vaguely familiar with the game, but not nearly with the level of familiarity I have with some of the other games we look at during the show. I also think it's going to be fun to try to remember the names of the characters for the show because it's been so long since I've seen it, so I'm going to see if I can just list them off. Obviously, some of them might have shown up here. The blue bunny, of course, is Buster. The pink one is Babs. The bad guy in the show, Montana Max there. Elmira was a character. I guess she was supposed to be like Elmer Fudd's kid. All of these characters were based on characters from the original Looney Tunes run, but I don't know if they were supposed to be kids of the original cartoon characters or just vaguely similar to them. There was Plucky Duck, there was Hamlet, Hampton, Ham something. There was a Dodo character, there was a purplish cat. There was Wile E. Coyote's kid. I think there was a small bird I don't remember the name of. And there might have been a skunk. That's it. That's all I remember. Oh, and Dizzy Devil. That's it. That's all I can remember of the show. I can't remember much of anything about Tiny Toon Adventures. I think this was the stepping stone game that they had released to get Steven Spielberg on board to produce cartoon shows for Warner Brothers' various ventures on television. And I think the more popular, more familiar one for kids nowadays isn't necessarily Tiny Toon Adventures, it would be Animaniacs, which we'll probably look at in an episode of Rental Regrets. But let's go ahead and do the story setup for this particular game. The story section is simply called There's Trouble Brewing in Acme Acres. The residents of Acme Acres sat on the steps of Acme Looniversity singing the blues. They've been carrying on this way ever since that menace to merriment, Montana Max, kidnapped Babs Bunny. What they wouldn't do to hear just one of her knock-knock jokes again. You see, it all started during the animation festival at Acme Loo. The festival had always been a grand celebration in Acme Acres, highlighted by the screening of student films. Every year, Montana Max tries to bribe the judges to vote for his film because he is accustomed to having his way. He's a rich dude with an attitude. Monty has always been jealous of Buster Bunny, and it only made matters worse when Buster won Best Student Film. That's when mean-hearted Monty reached maximum boil. He was going to get even if it was the last thing he did. Sorry, there's a little bit of weird wording there. While Babs was on her way to Buster's house to congratulate him on his win, Monty and his thugs lured her away to his mansion with the promise of making her a star. To parade his prize catch, Monty bought a TV station and broadcast a live "Nah, you can't catch me" speech for all of the stunned citizens of Acme Acres to see. While Buster was one bummed out bunny, he was even about to give up jumping. Okay. But here comes his pals Plucky Duck, Dizzy Devil, and Furball to pledge their help in rescuing everyone's favorite female bunny. With a little help from you, Buster and his buddies can now set out in their adventure-packed mission to the outer fringes of Acme Acres to rescue Babs. Can they possibly survive the slew of snares that Monty and has laid out for them? You better get jumping or it'll be curtains for our playful pals. Sorry, sometimes when I'm trying to read the instruction manual, and I'm usually doing it from a PDF online, it's kind of hard to see some of the font if it's really, really small. And sometimes there's issues with the instruction manual they scanned, or maybe there's little imperfections on the page, or someone scribbled on some parts where it's hard to see what the word is. This one's not too bad, but it is very small. There's a couple of other sections just telling you how to play the game, but I think part of the fun of these episodes sometimes is just watching me bumble aimlessly. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hi, I'm Shirley the Loon. I am a fortune teller. Please choose your partner. Use the control pad, then press the A button to decide. We'll go with Plucky, I guess, this time. And I said the blue cat is Furball, purple cat, whatever he was. All right, wow, that was good. Right off the bat. Super Mario Brothers, this ain't. There we go. Yeah, we'll talk about this game, I guess, more so than the other one that I was thinking of, but I do remember the other one had a mechanic that was more about running really fast to hit enemies. Okay, nothing there. And I don't know if there's a way to actually summon Plucky or if he's just there. See if I can slide down hills. I sure can. Yeah, this is just Super Mario 3. Okay, he jumps. Jump. I got a bubble! Oh, there we go. Can he fly? He sure can. My memory of this show is not as good as of Animaniacs, but I do remember that this show, very similar to Animaniacs, had a clear... It had the touch of a studio executive who just wanted to, if not brag about their own studio's long storied catalog of movie or TV properties, or just wanted to teach kids about them, but it was always very self-referential about other properties. I do recall that this particular, if it wasn't this show, it was Animaniacs, was just enamored with reminding everyone that they owned Batman, or the licensing rights to Batman. Okay, I'm not Plucky anymore. Animaniacs went even further, where half the characters were basically just references to Warner Brothers properties. I know that... Okay, so he is Hampton, not Hamlet. Collect as many carrots as possible. You'll get an extra player if you collect 30 carrots. Alright. How many carrots do you have? I have 62. And they ate all of them. Okay, I guess that was a good thing. Try to get more. Okay. Okay, so he can slide? Whoa! I went under him. Okay. I don't know if that's going to help me in any way. I feel like I'm safer just jumping on them. Maybe there would be a ledge I gotta go under. Whee! Okay, well, that sucked. I get the feeling that they had one named Shirley LaLoon. That's probably supposed to be a reference to Shirley MacLaine. Which, again, in the 90s, for some reason, every single one of the animated WB shows just had to remind you that they had actors and movie properties that were under their umbrella. She got referenced many, many, many different times on these particular cartoon series. And I think there is a modern divide, at least, of kids that were, old enough to actually remember watching, or I guess now they'd be full-grown adults with kids of their own. People who remember watching these shows when they came out, about whether or not the shows were good or terrible. I think when they first came out, I was probably a big fan of them, and as time has gone by, I've kind of come to realize they're just kind of naked advertising for Warner Brothers properties, and maybe not even that clever in the way they did it. So, not as much a fan now as I probably was when I was younger. Alright, I know what you're gonna do, and I don't want that. I want to keep the guy who can float. I wish I could reference the show more, but I really don't remember much about it. I guess the enduring memory I have of the show is I think this is the one that came up with the Ella later goes down the hole line that got repeated a ton when I was a kid by anyone who ever watched the show, because it was just such a funny thing. Someone flushing something down a toilet. We'll say something because it could very well have just been a turd. I don't remember what it was. I want to say it was a TV remote, but maybe I'm misremembering. Alright, we're not going to try to stomp him. He's bad news. I want to beat this game. I'm not going to beat this game. I don't even know how long it is. Okay, there's Elmira. And no, you can't touch her. I guess you just gotta stay away from her? Okay, well, there goes that. Let's do Dizzy Devil. Wait, did I just restart the whole frickin' level over? I guess I did. So you have to beat Elmira, but I don't know what I was supposed to do there. Alright, we're just gonna haul butt here. Forget stomping on everyone, it's not doing anything for me. Carrots are what's doing the trick for me. Alright, let's grab this and see what Dizzy Devil's like. Alright, he has spinning. Of course he does. Just like the Tasmanian Devil. I do say that they're all bald-face, the Warner Brothers cartoons from the 90s were all bald-face advertisements for other Warner Brothers properties. I do remember that Tasmania, which I was a fairly big fan of, and I still have somewhat fond memories of now, was pretty decent for what it was. A show about Taz's family, because, yeah, every character needed to have a backstory. But I do remember that show was fairly decent, and in fact, there is a game that we'll probably look at as part of Rental Regrets for that one as well that I enjoyed quite a bit. They had a Sega Genesis version of that one and a Super Nintendo version, and we will probably see the Super Nintendo one because I don't know if I ever played the Sega Genesis game. More extra lives. There's a key there, but I have no idea how you use it or even get it. Two lives. Why wouldn't they just give you a life when you hit 30 instead of forcing you to go through a door? That seems like bad design. Alright, can we talk about the fact that animators thought it was a good idea to humanize their characters, anthropomorphize, whatever the term is, cartoon characters that are animals that are supposed to have human-like characteristics by putting shirts on them, but never the pants. Why? Wouldn't you, if you were worried about making the characters similar to humans, want the pants first? I mean, maybe I'm assuming too much here, but it's like they just decided their cartoon characters don't have genitals. But if you're trying to make them human, humans have genitals. They're rife with genitals. Now look at it. Every single character we've run into here has a shirt on, but no pants. I believe the term has always been Donald ducking it, where you wear a shirt but no pants. But I mean, obviously that's a Disney character, and these are Warner Brothers owned characters, and they're doing the same thing. Shirt only, no pants. Alright, so what do you do? Oh, you climb walls. Alright. Obviously. I gotta be honest, all of these characters have something more useful than Buster. Buster just runs fast. That's it. That's all he can do. Also, I really don't like the fact that I keep getting to Elmira, and if I get touched once, I have to start the whole damn thing over. That's not great design.
Nope, nope.
Did that bird just bark? Also, why is that a vulture? I remember there being a dodo. Wouldn't the dodo be the one that's flying? There's another possibility here, and it's that I'm supposed to do something like climb a wall to get to something else, and I'm not doing it. So let's try that. That's very much... It's wearing its Super Mario inspiration on its sleeve with the design of the gameplay. Maybe there's like a hidden passage I'm supposed to get to. Except I didn't get to one there. Yep. Pile all that beta-carotene on you. I think there was a character on... Or not a character, but an actress on... If it wasn't the Brady Bunch, it was the Partridge Family, who found out the hard way that while dieting is a good idea, variety in the diet that you are using to lose weight is also a good idea, because she tried to just lose weight by eating nothing but carrots and ended up with orange skin. So she had to stop just eating carrots. I mean, look, I'm probably not the best person to ask in regards to what a healthy dietary lifestyle is, but man, throw a salad in there. Oh, there we go. Alright, I did it. That was a weird boss fight. Just don't let her touch you.
Nope, nope.
He did, he just barked. Why is that why is that bird barking? Ooh, there's some intrigue. Alright, we're back to Buster. Not intentionally. Okay, can't jump on that. I'm betting they don't stay down. Oh, you gotta stomp them twice. Owie! Okay, cool. I got time. Go. Okay, that didn't work the way I thought it would. I was going to jump on top of the platform and use it to go up, but that didn't happen. Can I slide up the stairs? No, that would be dumb. Do the Metal Gear Solid 2 faceplant when you try to roll up steps. Oh, didn't mean to jump that high. Whoops. Oh, come on. we did our Halloween episode for... This is what I get for trying to run. When we did our Halloween episode for Monster Party, there were a bunch of bosses that were all references to other properties, and I remember a jack-o'-lantern on, like, a ghost sheet. Is that a thing? And if it is, why don't I know what it is? Because I don't get the reference. Is it just like a Halloween thing that people decide jack-o'-lantern isn't scary enough on its own, so they had to put a ghost body on it? What is that? What's it supposed to be? I think we talked about that in the episode for Monster Party, the fact that most of the properties they had put in that game were stolen, in some cases licensed properties, where they, for the American release, had to just outright remove them because they were definitely copyright properties. I think they had a reference to Alien at one point, and there was another one, I can't remember what I had said. Oh, crap. Well, it's a good thing we have a ton of lives. Really shouldn't be running. Whee! Oh, shoot. Okay, so everyone can do the slide. So you're almost a fool to use Buster at all, because he doesn't really have anything special. Oh, come on! That was cheap. I think these rats, mice, are characters from the cartoon show, and I don't know what their names are. I also think if I had actually looked in the instruction manual, they said exactly what they are. Oh, no, you don't. Gah! I knew it was coming up. Alright, I'm going to take my finger off the run button until I get to a point where I'm comfortable playing this more safely. There we go. Oh, this makes me miss the janky jump or stomp hit detection in Super Mario. As we found while I was playing not only the first game, but the third is really, like, super generous. Like, there were times where I was stomping characters and I was basically standing, I don't know what it is, perpendicular, horizontally parallel to them, right next to them. Oh, come on! It's... Why am I getting killed by rats in the first place? I'm a cat! I am in desperate need of an extra life. I'm gonna die trying to get through this area. And I still got that stupid ghost thing, and I have no idea how to get through that safely. There we go. Alright, jump over. I'm gonna hit the balloon. I should have been doing this the whole time. Let's go down there. I don't know what it is, but I want to find out. Alright, yes, that's a very good pickup. See, there's something special up here. There's nothing. There's an easy way to get past all the monsters. Ah, crap. That doesn't work. Now watch, I'll fall down a shaft where there's a spike pit or a spike, whatever it is, platform. That'll kill me. Oh! Oh! Alright, so we have to face the ghost things. Well, that wasn't too bad. Made it! I need something with carrots so that I can get some extra lives. I did not see a single carrot there. Whew. Another Elmira stage? No, I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Someone who skateboards and throws anvils? Alright. Dodging him isn't doing me any favors. I have to stop him. Not too bad. Oh, I got hit, but I still killed him. Alright. A key! Hooray! What does the key do for me? I haven't had a single locked door yet.
Nope, nope.
That vulture reminds me of the vultures from Jungle Book, which is a Disney movie. So why do they have a character that looks just like the ones that were all, like, Beatles characters? Blaze Dizzy Devil again. Alright, well, if you're playing a Mario knockoff, you always have that one level that's very desert-like. Oh, crap! I got 30 carrots, so now I can do the extra lot. Can I stop this thing? Oh! Can I run into it? Get out of the pit! There we go. Alright, well, let's do the safe one that can kill enemies just by running into them. I bet he can't touch water at all, can he? Oh, no, he can. Oh! Just not shells. Gotcha. What? I hit the spinny thing. Screw you, game. Is that it? Is our adventure in Tiny Toons over? Or can I continue? I think that's where I was supposed to go. Here. That's the desert one, right? So let's go ahead and do this. Oh man, they took all my carrots. Can I stomp on you? Yes, I can. Why are the carrots waving? Why did he stand on that balloon? These are deep questions that don't have easy answers. Seriously, look at that! This carrot doesn't look like a carrot that anyone would ever want to eat because it's so soft. There's no consistency. That is one of the worst root vegetables I've ever seen. I don't even have to jump, I can just bump into him. Nope, that didn't work the way I thought it would. Alright, so don't let the big puffer fish touch you. Okay, don't like that. Okay, can't kill the spiny bits. Don't touch it! Oh, okay, that one's fine. Let's see, this game subscribes to the Mega Man style of jumping mechanic where you jump and look like you're putting absolutely all your effort and emotion into a single jump. Ah! Seriously, that vulture is a flat ripoff of the Jungle Book versions. Looks like the Ringo vulture. Wow. I mean, this... he can throw Tornadoes underwater? Well, that's the coolest thing ever. Hello, secret. Good secret? Yes, good secret. I shouldn't have done that. Can't kill those things! Oh, that sucks. Ah, damn. Should have gone low. Oh. So much momentum on these characters. And you get some momentum and you start moving to the side and the game just flings you another 10, 15 feet. I'm gonna need that. Duck, 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 duck. Alright. That'll be fine. That will not be fine. Oh! Let's reset that whole group. Get a better pattern. Alright, that's not too... Oh! Too bad. I need a one-up room real bad. And I still botched this, and I knew what I was supposed to do there. Alright, I think as with the original opinion I had of the game when I first got it, we're going to go ahead and stop here because, boy, I don't love it. Don't love this game. So let's go ahead and wrap things up. We're going to do a round of the good, the bad, and the ugly, now with a new sponsor. And that sponsor is Tiny Panther God, Man of Science. And, yep, there we go. That's the sound. Let's go ahead and do the good. I think the graphics are kind of a nice departure from the standard Konami fare, which is always very dark and grim. This was a light, colorful game that evoked the characters from the TV show very effectively. They all looked exactly like they were supposed to. By comparison, we did an episode for Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage, and none of those characters looked terribly anything like the Looney Tunes characters that they were supposed to evoke. Part of that is the game was actually licensed to be something completely different. It was supposed to be a Roger Rabbit video game that they didn't have the licensing rights for, and then they made it into like a Mickey Mouse game at some point, and then they changed it again to Looney Tunes to release in the United States. So none of those characters actually look like they were supposed to. Here, you would swear that every single one of those was an exact duplicate of the cartoon they were supposed to evoke. So they get points for that. They tried to do a Super Mario Brothers style of gameplay, and I would say it's hit or miss. As far as the bad, that first area, the boss that you had to fight, Elmira, they didn't tell you what you were supposed to do. And I would guess it's because you're supposed to assume it's just like the TV show or the cartoon where she was obsessed with all the cartoon characters and wanted to hug them. So you're supposed to avoid her, but, I mean, you're so used to being able to stomp or hit other characters. Why wouldn't you be able to stomp that one? I also think that maybe the momentum is a little bit too high for your character models, where it seems like you slide another 5 to 10 feet after you stop pressing in a direction or jumping in a direction. That got me quite a few times trying to get through the game here. It was too much. They needed to bring it down a little bit. Have the characters have a little bit of ability to stop their own motion when you let go of the D-pad, and that didn't happen. Sorry, that was in the bad. The good, I would also say the unique abilities that everyone except for Buster had were a nice touch. Plucky being able to fly, Dizzy being able to spin in like as a tornado or whatever, and then the Furball being able to climb walls. Bad, I would say also that it would have been nice if Buster had anything. He can just run a little bit faster. That kind of sucked. Also, with the exception of Dizzy Devil, I don't know if any of those powers really had a specific and necessary use at any point in the game, which kind of stinks because you would think there's a strategy element. You get to a level and you're like, well, I want to be able to use Plucky's floating ability to get over longer jumps, but no, that never is necessary. You can stomp on enemies pretty much everywhere you go, so being able to turn into a whirling dervish doesn't help much. And I can't think of a single instance where climbing a wall really benefited me. I mean, it gave me the ability to go over top of a couple of places, but it didn't make the game markedly easier. So if you're going to add those abilities, make them very useful, not just kind of like an option. As far as the ugly, it would have been nice if there was an easy way to get extra lives, because they have just the one room where you can go in and trade carrots for lives, and they could have just had it so if you got, a certain number of carrots, you just got the life instead of having to trade them in. Obviously, this is kind of nitpicky, and that's the whole point of the ugly, but it would have been nice if, they had something else in that room, like a mini game where you could get extra lives. If you're going to go, if you're going to rip off a game like Super Mario 3, go full bore and add elements that, allow you to get extra lives beyond what you just find laying around the levels, with the hearts that you can pick up as an extra hit that become a life if you already have one, or carrots that, again, you don't get the extra life unless you turn them into a house. That's kind of not great design. But let's go ahead and give the game a score. We do our score in Randars, 1 to 10 Randars. It's a passable Super Mario 3 ripoff, but it's not a great one, so I'm going to give it 6 Randars. It would have been nice if there was an easier way to get extra lives in the game, and I think that hurts it. Not to mention, bosses should have a similar way to damage them, or a very obvious way to damage them. And that Elmira fight, there was no indication that all you had to do was just not get hit until a door opened. That's a huge knock on the game is, if you're going to put bosses in there, either have a way to defeat them by hitting them, or make it obvious that what you're supposed to do is just run away until you find your exit. Also, that level was kind of lame. It was just kind of like 2 pairs of stairs and go left, go right, go left, go right, exit. That wasn't great design. Cool idea, making characters have different abilities, but they weren't very useful. So yeah, 6 Randars. It's okay. It's maybe a tiny bit above average because of the graphical fidelity, and they worked the theme song for the show into the game as well, which, not always easy to do if you don't get the licensing rights to do that, which of course, why wouldn't you? You got the rights to make the cartoon, but sometimes the devs either didn't find the source song or didn't take the time to actually try to recreate it in games. And it's also possible that, just like whatever it was, Crazy Castle, the Bugs Bunny one, the game starts life as a completely different property, and they just slap a bunch of licensed characters over top of it. So they never thought to make a theme song that matched the TV show or movie or whatever it came from. But 6 Randars, think it's fair. Slightly above average game. Not great. I think the Super Nintendo one is a much better game, but we'll take a look at that probably in a future episode around Our Regrets. That's going to do it for this episode of Nubs Collection. As always, I do appreciate each of you watching, and I will see you next time. That's going to do it for this episode of Nubs Collection. As always, I do appreciate each of you guys. I botched that. Let's try again.